Morning, week 11, Bell Kings Fantasy Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tony D. I got my man Glick in the house. I got my man Rich in the house. Fireman Rick, follow him, please. Everywhere, all the time, every morning. That's your alarm clock because he's mine. Got my man Glick, Nonsensical Nonsense
Happy
Podcast,
birthday to
Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays.
okay.
All over the place, all podcast platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. If you ain't following, you ain't trying to. Yes, I said it. We cut a fool just like you do. You just don't like how we do it. We don't like how you do it. End of story. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Game day, man. Let's go.
Yes, game day.
On Facebook. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. We are live on LinkedIn. And we are also live on Twitter. If Twitter ever decided to act right, because Twitter, I don't know what's going on with y'all. Elon, do me a favor, bro. A lot of us can't get on Twitter when we use other platforms. Do me a favor. Look at that. Handle that. I don't care about you firing nobody. Get out Twitter. All of y'all on Twitch, I don't know what's going on with login issues from a couple months ago. Do me a favor. Fix all of y'all on Twitch. I don't know what's going on with login issues. Somebody's out there.
Okay, could have been me. I brought up. I got you up on Twitch.
Okay, good. No, it's not a problem. I just want to make sure
I silenced the tab. I silenced the tab.
You're good to go. Last week, watched a couple of games. Max, anything you gentlemen want to drop as far as last week's game?
All I gotta say about last week's games, how you like that? Get him, Kurt Chains. Get him.
This Joker here.
Set the hell down, Buffalo. I know you're gonna whoop our asses today, but set the hell down.
Here you go. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start this. Big ups to the New York Jets. They're 6-3. When's the last time the New York Jets won 6 games? Somebody, anybody, one of y'all.
You gotta have faith in the Jets. I gotta say it this weekend. You gotta have faith in the Jets so they can win.
You've been saying
It
that all
hasn't
season.
been that long since they won 6 games.
I've had faith, but they've been killing.
I got a better question for you. How long has it been since they won in Foxborough? Well, trivia for
I
you.
saw that this morning.
Very, very true, Glick. That's true.
12 years. I saw that this morning. It's been 12 years since they won at Foxborough.
Yep.
That long? Wow.
Yes. They are. Yeah. The Patriots have a 13-game win streak against the Jets.
Unreal.
Now, they weren't the best team. We all know that. We can all acknowledge that. They were going up against Brady and Belichick. We all know that. We can acknowledge that. One of the reasons why I will tell everybody I miss Mark Sanchez because when he was there, he was winning. I miss Chad Pennington because when he was there, he was winning. I miss Brett Favre because when he was there, they was winning. Ain't nothing been right with the Jets since Brett Favre until this season. So the Jets are looking good. Get a contract extension. If they don't win another game this season, they did their job personally.
I agree. I would agree to that.
With their history, let's be clear. The Steelers haven't won that many Super Bowls, but they haven't had a losing record either. Big ups to Coach Tomlin. These are the things you got to look at. These things you got to take into account and to advantage. What else we got going on here? I think I'll go ahead and
won 6 Super
rolling.
Bowls. How have they not won a lot? The Steelers have won 6 Super Bowls. How have they not won a lot of Super Bowls? Who else has won more than them? On one individual.
Come on, man. How you doing? Recently.
Yeah, their personnel setup is a lot different than when they won those 6 than it is now, Glick. So that's a big difference there, I think.
Their team is the trainer.
Yeah.
True. Even though they have Super Bowls, they got winning records. I got to give them that more than anything. They got winning records. He does not have a losing season. I have to give him credit for that. We have to. Let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. I'm going to start with the running backs. Start them and sit them. Week 11, NFL.com. Information, if you will.
The holidays were alone.
What in God's name? I did not want you up there. Well, at least I didn't want to hear it. My apologies to everybody out there. Start them and sit them. Week 11 running backs. Ramondre Stevenson versus the Jets. They say start him. History says start him too. It's the Patriots. It's the Patriots against the Jets. History says start them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in general, he isn't having a bad season. He's the 10th ranked running back in the league, averaging about 16 and a half, a little over 16 and a half points a game. So, regardless of the Jets or who it is, it sounds like he's a pretty solid, at least running back 2, possible flex running back.
That sounds like a no-brainer to me, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, though, running back, will the Patriots defense be able to hold him as far as the running game?
Patriots defense or the Jets defense?
Well, this guy, you're talking a running back from the Jets. Oh, this guy's in New England. Oh, I'm sorry. I got okay, other way around. Oh, okay. In that case, I say this. They want to sit him.
No, start
against the Jets. Start him. That's probably a good start then. Yeah.
And like I said, history says you should do that because the Patriots have a serious record against the Jets during the season. They truly do. I personally, I would do it off of history and take the L because as somebody who does do fantasy football, if you're looking at points, you're looking at history and predictions, you don't think the Jets are going to beat the Patriots no matter how good they look, and they got to prove it. So it's probably a worthy risk in my opinion. Cordarrelle Patterson versus the Chicago Bears. He's just coming back off an injury. This is his old team. I would do it, but I would also say it is risky. Very risky.
Well, in all honesty, like you said, he's coming off of an injury.
Yes.
And you also know that Marcus Mariota likes to run around all over God's green earth.
I'm glad he's running because he used to be a pocket quarterback.
I'm just saying. So, I mean, is he going to have the opportunity for a lot of touches coming back? I know he just had an injury, so he's been out.
I think Cordarrelle Patterson will get the ball being a double threat from the offense, wide receiver and running back. I think he'll get the ball a lot personally.
He's always I think that's where he maximizes his threat level is at the fact that he's a good receiving back.
Yes.
Now, as a guy who had him last year, it wasn't his rushing game that was beneficial. It was his receiving game.
Which is going to do both, in my opinion, because once he gets the ball, I think he'll be wide open. He's going to help that offense spread out more, in my opinion. He is. I would call him a good pick. Well, I would call this a decent prediction, in my opinion. Brian Robinson of the Washington Commanders versus the Houston Texans. Anyone? I'll wait. Let me go put some ice in my water bottle. I want to hear somebody defend the Texans on this one.
Who the hell's going to defend the Texans? If you got Robinson.
Exactly. They're the worst team in.
Yeah, again, I just looked and was like, oh, shit, my starting quarterback's questionable because he's got a little tummy ache. So who do I go and pick up? I picked up Taylor Heineke from the Commanders just in case I have to have a quarterback because he's playing the Texans today.
Yeah, I think the Texans are just a sorry team. They have not shown anything. Last week's game, what little I seen of it, the team is just they're looking their face. They're just showing up, and that's it. And they say, let's get this over with so we can go back to the hotel,
pretty much,
or whatever. Yeah, it's just there's nothing there. It's a hollow shell of a team. And Washington, I think I got them. So this guy's from the Redskins. I say start him.
Yeah, and he's not looking bad either this season.
No.
So. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be defending the Texans.
No, and they're at home too for the game, but I think the Commanders have shown enough to where they can. The players should have a good game there against the Texans, unless the Texans get charged up and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see.
And in all fairness, any team that's losing, somebody on that team is not going to be having it. What's up, Debbie? How you doing?
Yeah.
Somebody on that team is not going to be having them losing. That's every team.
You know,
I'm going out like this.
Again, the Texans are 1-7. 1-7.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, and Was it the Washington team? They're
They
playing 500 ball. They're playing 500 ball.
Yes, they are playing 500 ball.
And they just shocked the world.
The coach was very
on
emotional
the
last week.
Eagles.
Riviera was real emotional last week with that win. There's a lot of heart on the team. I saw that last season. There's a lot of heart with that team, no matter what the record is. I can respect it. Rivera is a decent damn coach. I think he did a great job when he was at Carolina. There wasn't much more he could do once he did get into the Super Bowl because him and Cam had everything going proper. They just started being, I think everybody had their game, had their number. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think everybody had their number. So we almost got to leave it at that with them. But I'm taking I think this is a decent prediction in my opinion. Devin Singletary for the Buffalo Bills against the Browns.
Buffalo Bills players on your fantasy football team today, and as a Browns fan, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you have a Buffalo Bills player on your team and they're on your bench, you're an idiot.
Don't sit them. Don't sit them. Oh, on the bench. Okay, yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Glick. Definitely. Don't sit them.
Don't sit them. Start them because, like I said, as a Browns fan, I have a feeling Buffalo is about to wipe the floor with Cleveland today. And it's going to be ugly.
Well, especially after last week's loss. That was, I'm just like,
Yeah. Our defense is just too suspect. They're going to, they let Miami do whatever the hell they wanted. Miami's not even a rushing team last week, and that defense let Miami rush all over them.
Jeez.
So, yeah, it's bad in Cleveland defensive-wise. A lot of injuries are killing
and Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland had so much potential at the beginning of the season, though, Glick.
Oh yeah. No, there was potential for days. It's just
yeah.
And that defense, I don't know. I've been saying it since week 3. Fire freaking Woods, that defensive coordinator, because he's a jackass. I can't understand why they're passing for 500 yards. Really, Woods? I don't know. Maybe because your secondary is 10, 15 yards away from every receiver every play.
Unbelievable.
Moron. So definitely start Singletary today.
Definitely start him. That's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
These are the running backs you should not start. DeAndre Swift of the Detroit Lions against the Giants. I don't know about this.
I disagree with that. I think Detroit's on a 3-game win streak right now. In my opinion, Swift is a guy that you should always have in there at least as a flex player. He's going to get his points. They're going to feed him. Even against the Giants.
They're on a 2-game win streak.
Is it 2-game?
Yeah, 2-game.
Points-wise, they're sitting here showing that they're going to be spreading the ball out more, which is why they say to sit him, which, okay, I'll give them that. Yeah. But the Giants' defense is my concern as to whether or not they're worthy or not. Even though you got a dual triple threat in the backfield, which won't generate a lot of points, it'll spread the points out amongst the players. Will they still get numbers apiece is where I'm at. Okay, so here's how you use the workload. Too much. Okay, so unfortunately they say sit him. Okay, I'll get him that. Darrell Henderson of the Rams against the Saints.
Man, just that's on the bench. I don't even know why he keeps coming up. If you're running back for the Rams, just get rid of him. That Rams running game.
Why?
That Rams running game is disgusting.
Yeah, they haven't done anything with that. That's for sure.
Their backfield's a mess. Akers don't want to be there no more. Henderson's not getting touches, and I think they got 2 other guys. They're running 3 guys, potentially 4 guys.
Yeah,
so
that's what it is. They're running more than one person in the backfield. Okay, yeah, and I can understand that. They still getting the ball and getting yards, they're just not generating a lot of points.
As a fantasy football aspect. Yeah, there's no points. There's no points Rams running backs. So
there's no points of Rams running backs. Got it. There you go. James Robinson, Jets against the Patriots. Now, last time the Jets played the Patriots, it was Robinson's first game with New York after it was traded midweek. So we will not hold the lack of production against him. Fair enough. 5 times, 17 yards, 1 target. Had 13 times for 48 yards, 5 yards, touchdown, and 2 catches. Okay, so he almost saw double digits. He's on the field. Patriots have allowed 17.4 fantasy points per game to running backs, the second fewest. It includes just one touchdown on the ground and one through the air. Plus, there's no secret that Bill. Yeah.
I can agree because Carter's still the Jets' number one guy, right?
Yes, he is.
So I could agree with sitting Robinson.
With Brees Hall out for the season, yes.
Yeah.
Because Carter got hurt last season. Brees got hurt this season. James Robinson is coming from the Jaguars. I think he'll be hungry. I actually think I would start him.
Well, he started the season out hot with the Jags.
Right.
But then the Jags started utilizing Etienne over Robinson.
Yes.
So
they drafted him for that reason as well. Agreed.
Yeah, his numbers dropped dramatically as far as on fantasy. And I mean, before the bye, he had a pretty decent game against Buffalo. But
right.
how often? I mean, how many touches is he going to get? How many? He had 5 attempts in his first game with the Jets, respectively. He was just getting there, but he only had 13 attempts against Buffalo.
Right.
And only put up 48 yards. So,
and that's what we need to know right there. Absolutely.
Are they going to get him more involved in the run game now that he's going into his third game with a bye and having time to learn the team and learn the playbook? Is he going to get involved more, or are they going to stick with Carter like they've been doing?
I think they're going to spread the ball between both of them. Mind you, Carter did get hurt last season, and I think that hurt them. Matter of fact, when he went down, I know it hurt them. He was a big motivation for the team. He was a new draft pick, well, a rookie on the team, or at least a new player, and he was a lot of the energy. So when he went down, I think they took a lot out. But I think I would start him. I think I would.
That'd be a risk. I think that'd be a risky starter.
I agree. Edwards Helaire against the Chargers. I can't believe they want to sit a Kansas City Chiefs running back against the Chargers.
Well, I think the reason they're saying set him, and nothing against Edwards Helaire because he's an absolute monster.
Right.
Yeah.
But we all know the Kansas City Chiefs, as we discussed last week, Tony, they're a pass-heavy team.
Yeah.
They've been passing short passes, a lot more short passes than running. I agree.
And they're predicting and I know the Chargers are looking a little rough this year, but they're predicting a shootout in this game. I believe Keenan Allen's going to be back this week, potentially, and Joshua Palmer has stepped up big time for the Chargers.
Gotcha.
So they're predicting a shootout between Mahomes and Herbert.
Yeah.
So that might be why they're saying set Helaire this week. I think the Chargers have a pretty decent rush defense.
I think they got a decent defense.
Yeah.
They are a high-energy team no matter what the record says. And I say that even though they got a winning record, they should have more games under their belt. That is a very high-energy team. I think they have a motivation within themselves to where people would at least give them some respect. I have no problem with them. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your running backs, Week 11, NFL.com. Let us go back to the originals. Quarterbacks. Oh, boy, this is going to be interesting. Start them as center quarterbacks.
Oh, I just figured it out. Just figured it out why I'm not seeing your list. I'm on CBS Sports and you're on NFL. That's why.
I got to work on you, Rich.
Listen, I know.
I know where your confusion is. I got you. Just roll with me, kid.
Yeah, I'm rolling with it.
Just roll with me, kid. Start them. Justin Fields versus the Falcons. I like Justin Fields. He had a good game a couple weeks ago.
He's had several good games as of late. I think he's. I can agree with that. He's solidifying himself as a starting quarterback in fantasy football.
As a future Chicago Bears Hall of Fame quarterback. We haven't seen.
Let's just calm down just a little bit. Let's bump the brakes a little bit. Easy. He's had
the last decent quarterback they had was who? The last decent quarterback they had was who?
I don't know.
Thank you.
When was the last time they had a decent football team?
That's
1985 when they did the Super Bowl shuffle.
Jimmy Man, yes. And he wasn't even all that.
Yeah.
I'll say
it was like
Daniel Jones versus the Lions, I think this is a no-brainer. But I will say this. Don't sleep on the Lions. Don't sleep on the Lions. They're not winning games, but you don't see the points they are generating for fantasy football players. They have always generated fantasy football points for people.
Oh, yeah.
From back in the day of Matt Stafford and what my man named the wide receiver? Calvin Johnson?
Megatron?
Yes, Megatron. They have been big points for fantasy football players, regardless of the record.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell you what.
That's
I almost want to say the Lions will win this game. I almost want to say the Lions might win this game.
I'm actually leaning towards the Lions in this game, in all honesty.
Rich, what's my prediction on this game? Do you remember?
I got it right here. You're going with the Lions, and myself and Tim are going for the Giants. What's coming up here?
Yeah, your audio.
You guys getting a feedback? Yeah. Hang on.
It's staticky.
Yeah, it's real staticky.
Take your time with it, though. You all right, man?
How about now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, it gurgled. The Giants are going to win that game. It's at home. I can't see the Lions winning against the Giants in that game. So I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game, primarily because I don't think it's going to be a weather factor, like we had up in Buffalo with them moving that game. But I just, the Lions are a hot and cold team. They can score the points if they're going to score the points, but they're saying sit Daniel Jones over the Lions.
No, they're saying start him.
Oh, start him. Yeah, he's the starting quarterback. He's going to start. I think he's going to do good against the Lions.
I'm kind of skeptical on it because the Lions are kind of they're up and down, and the Giants are up and down. This is kind of a at your own risk kind of game, if you ask me. I want to say this is a pick 'em or a push because I can see either team winning. I actually almost want to say I think this will be a high scoring game, and I can see this going to overtime.
You think it's going to be a high scoring game, really?
Detroit will put some points on you.
Yes. I don't think the Giants have had, as much as they're winning, I don't think the Giants really had that much of a high scoring game at all this year so far.
The Giants haven't, but the Lions will put points up on you. See, the Giants got you can slow your offense down. It's going to be a matter of whether the Giants' defense will slow the Lions.
I think the Giants will. I really do. I think they're going to. It's the Giants are just known for that slow, methodical. And
yes.
Not to say that the Lions can't come back and they rake the table as far as that. So, but I think Jones, he's healthy. I think he's going to have a good game.
He will. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Garoppolo versus the Cardinals. This is kind of tricky to me. I think we got a decent rivalry between these two teams, especially in their division.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
right.
Yeah.
Did they play once before?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I think they played earlier in the season.
Yeah, that's what I
thought.
Garoppolo wasn't a lot of points. His team is points.
No, they haven't. Yeah, they haven't played yet this season.
They haven't?
No, not yet. This is their first meeting. Jimmy G's he's averaging about 15.5 points a game. He's yet to go over 20 points as a quarterback, but he's consistently in the double digits. He's a consistent quarterback. He's not a bad start. I mean, depending upon who you have in your lineup and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you have a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson or Mahomes, or you're not going to want to start Jimmy G over those guys. But as far as consistency goes, and I know right in the mix of the bye weeks and stuff like that. So if you need a quarterback, or if Jimmy's on your bench and you don't have a good quarterback or your quarterback's on bye, throw him in. Absolutely. Because
He might get some points. He might break 20 points in one game. But like I said, his team gets the points more than he does. He just moves the ball around, which is good.
Yeah, he's only had one game where he had less than 10 points.
Wow.
Most of his games, he's getting over 15 points a game.
Which
he's got one game where he's at 13. So I mean, he's consistent.
Glick, what's a good quarterback get? You know, like what's the average points like say Mahomes and Josh Allen?
30.
No, so they're not doing 30. Let's see. I have Lamar Jackson on my roster. He's averaging 22 points a game. He's ranked 6th in the league. Tua's averaging 20 plus a game. I would say a good quarterback is going to average about 20 points a game.
So Garoppolo, he's not in that top half. He's
No.
sort of like
he's not the top 10, but he's not a bad backup to have. He's not if you need a quarterback to start, Jimmy G is a good go-to. Like like I said, I just found out that Jackson might be out today.
Right.
So I had to go grab me a quarterback because my other quarterback is Tua, and he's on a bye.
To me, a decent quarterback's at least 20 points a game in fantasy football.
Yeah. And Tua's ranked 11th, and he's averaging 20 points a game, right at 20 points exactly.
Yes.
And he's ranked. He's just outside of the top 10 of quarterbacks.
Gotcha.
So, and Jimmy G's at averaging 15.5 points a game. So, not a bad option. Like I said, if you need him, absolutely, I'd start him 100%.
They say grab him. Against the Cardinals, I find it to be risky, but go for it. That's just me. Marcus Mariota against the Chicago Bears. I find this risky because the Bears' defense is historically pretty good. Mariota's not historically big on fantasy football points, even though he is consistent with points. But I'm like just watching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He again, I mean, he's another one like Jimmy G. He's consistent. He's had 2 games where he was below 10 points. He's had a couple 20-plus games. He's averaged 15.5 a game as well. He's ranked 12th. So he's ranked 12th, just below Tua.
I mean, I like Mariota's quarterback. Personally.
Again, I would say the same thing about Mariota that I said about Jimmy G. If you need a quarterback this week, not a bad grab if he's available.
Especially, I agree with that entirely. I truly do. I got nothing against Mariota except for high scores. Other than that, he's a decent quarterback. Sit him. Sit Derek Carr against the Broncos. I hate to agree.
This season, it seems like if you have a Raiders player on your fantasy roster, minus Devontae Adams, sit him. What is going on with the Raiders here? Because somebody, please tell me.
Going on with them every damn year. They ain't nothing changed.
I mean, they were good last year. This year, it's just like, oof.
Ain't nothing changed.
No, they don't have the oof. It's like the old when Raiders came into the stadium, you had the possibility of getting your freaking whole team beat up. Now the Raiders come in, it's like, okay, their patch is more fearful than the actual players.
Yeah,
in a sense.
I start them against the Broncos. The Broncos don't look that good this season. Period. End of story.
Yeah, they're at home too. Okay,
they do not look good. They do not look good this season. They do not.
I'm picking the Raiders to win, but the Broncos, they always play. I'm just that home field advantage, especially miles high. That's the Raiders. Well, the Broncos. It depends on the first quarter. First quarter, if they're playing good and stuff like that, and that's just like any team there. So that's sort of a crapshoot of a game, I guess, as far as the players.
I kind of agree. Let's see what we got next. We got Matt Ryan against the Eagles. I wouldn't start Matt Ryan this week. Hell no. Sorry. No disrespect, but hell no. Hell no.
The Eagles just came off that huge upset against the Commanders last week, so they're going to be playing a ball game.
Exactly.
I mean, play with it if you want to. Go for it, and that's fine. I would not be starting Matt Ryan against the Eagles. No, negative. Jared Goff, I would start Jared Goff against the Giants. However, I do see at least 2 interceptions in this game. I do. I think Jared Goff's going to get picked off. Any questions?
I could see that. I'm taking a here at Mr. Jared Goff. Golf.
Go for it.
I mean, 15 point, or a little over 15 and a half points a game. He's ranked 17th. He's got 2 games under 10 points, and most of his games are, above double digits. He's had a 20, he's had a 33-point game, a 26-point game. So I don't know if I necessarily saw him.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'd sleep on him. I mean, even though it is against
He
the
may not get touchdowns. I think he'll get passing yards. I don't think he'll get a whole lot of touchdowns, but he'll get a lot of passing yards.
Yeah.
I kind of expect that. What do you think, Rich?
I think if you had how's the audio? Ellen said I was crackling again.
Yeah, you're going in and out a little bit. I know you're trying to make some adjustments. You're fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
You're good.
I would say if you got a better quarterback, start him. Sit this guy.
I think he's a decent quarterback. The team's kind of crazy. Who he's up against is a problem. I think I would risk it, but I see what they're saying. Andy Dalton against the Rams, I would sit him. He's not washed up, but it's almost looking like he's predictable.
Andy
It's
Dalton.
almost yeah, it's looking like he's predictable in my opinion.
Oh, against okay. It's New Orleans.
Anyone?
No, I have no disagreeing with sitting Dalton. I was actually kind of surprised when he was playing for the Saints that he was still in the league. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
He's still there.
No disrespect to Andy Dalton or anything.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that he was in the league anymore. I was like, whoa, Andy Dalton's still playing? I thought he was done after he left Dallas.
Oh my God.
Big Red, go get him.
I'm not mad at him. I think I would, mainly because he hasn't looked consistent. It's not even so much about the Rams. It's about, I think people have his number. Ladies and gentlemen, those are quarterbacks week 11, NFL.com predictions. Actually, suggestions. Forgive me. Let's go to the wideouts. Wide receivers. Start them and sit them. We have start Rondale Moore versus the 49ers. Now, let me go ahead and say this. I actually watched him last season. I have him as a sleeper wide receiver to keep on a squad if I was to build one. I think he'll have a future. They say he's been playing really good ball as of late. I think he's going to be to the Cardinals what CeeDee Lamb is to the Cowboys. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
You know what? I could 100% agree with that, Tony D. He's stepping up. I mean, you got to remember that team that has D-Hop. They've also got Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown when he comes back from injury. So, but when needed, I think Moore stepped up. So it's a good addition for that wide receiving squad that they got up there.
I consider the Arizona Cardinals lethal with him, Brown, DeAndre Hopkins. They're pretty dangerous.
Yeah, the ball's going to be spread around a lot on the Cardinals team.
Yes.
But who's the quarterback? I'm just seeing that. Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
He's not playing today. Yeah,
no, Colt,
hamstring.
Yeah, Colt McCoy's starting for him. As far as I know of. So the ball
is he going to be as effective?
Oh yeah, I mean he started last week, and Colt looked pretty good. He did go down late in the game with an injury, but I think he came back in and finished the game.
Okay, they beat the Rams. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they beat the Rams. I mean, Colt McCoy put up almost 14 points in that game.
Okay.
Yeah, he threw for.
There's a lot of
about
weapons on that Cardinals team, so it's the points are going to be spread around.
Mhm.
They're not going to be one receiver. They got a lot of tools.
And Colt McCoy's not going to run around like Kyler Murray does. So
No, he might start. I think he'll start running around personally.
well, if he has to, he will. But he's not known for his mobility. But he's a gunslinger. I mean, Colt
Yes,
McCoy. He was another one that shocked me. I thought he was out of the league too until last week, and he come in on the field, and I'm like, holy shit, Colt's still here. That's my guy because he was with Cleveland. I like Colt McCoy when Cleveland drafted him. He's a gunslinger.
He's a gunslinger, but what has it gotten him? Honestly.
Well, I think what's killed him in the league today is the fact that he's not necessarily known to be a mobile quarterback. He doesn't move around a whole lot, and he's also on the shorter side.
Yeah, his height, and he's pretty much a pocket quarterback, which is not good in the NFL. You got to be mobile.
Yeah, not in today's game.
Kadarius Toney of the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers. I think yeah. I can't debate this. There's nothing to think about personally. There's nothing to think about.
Yeah, I mean, he's only played in 4 games this season. He's ranked 108. He's averaging 6.6 points a game.
So he's not going to be a big point getter.
We never know. We
never know, but you also got to look at the other surrounding cast members in that wide receiving corps in Kansas City. Travis Kelce's going to be a big factor.
Always.
Didn't they just get Juju or Claypool or something like that?
Mm-hmm. They got Juju this season, yes.
Yeah. They got somebody else up there. I can't remember. I can't think of his name. So, I mean, it's
the Kansas City Chiefs are loaded. They're loaded.
Yeah, they're absolutely loaded. But again, Holmes does like to throw the ball around any given Sunday. I wouldn't say sleep on Tony, but probably not going to hurt you if you leave him on your bench either.
Depending on who else you got in your roster, I agree. Christian Watson, Green Bay Packers wide receiver against the Titans. What?
Well, that game was Thursday night, and any of you ass clowns that went and picked up Christian Walker after the game last week against the Dallas Cowboys.
Why they got to be ass clowns? Why they got to be ass clowns? My question.
Because the guy had. Because first and foremost, if you go and grab a guy like that. That is a major fantasy football rookie. No. Like that's, he had one good game. He's a rookie. And everybody went and grabbed him and started him this week. And I don't think he did anything in that Tennessee game.
Apparently, talking about the Tennessee game Thursday night?
Yeah.
Well, Rick has had one good game in the season, which we can't fault them for that. Because they're not supposed to get the ball like that unless they're in a spot or everybody else is down. But apparently he had a good game against the Cowboys with 3 touchdowns. So that
he had a great game against the Cowboys.
Yeah, that skyrocketed his stock. Cortland Sutton against the Raiders.
Just a backup point.
I said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week.
Is there Rich in the background?
Yeah, he's real quiet. Yeah, he got real quiet.
Okay, how about now?
You're still low. Your audio's still low. It's like it's not plugged all the way in. That's what it sounds like. He's got a studio set up, so he got so much stuff to look at.
I'm hearing you guys.
There you go. I know we picking.
Just go ahead.
No, I know what you got going on, though. I know what you got going on. If Jerry Jeudy is out, that makes Cortland Sutton pretty much the number 1 receiver, which I can understand that. I can understand that. But the Broncos haven't been looking that good this season.
Yeah. No, I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week. Stop putting Cortland Sutton in the damn stardoms.
Why?
Broncos.
Now your audio's acting up a little bit. Both of you. The twosies.
Maybe it's on your end. Maybe it's on your end.
I'm using the speaker on my laptop. I ain't got nothing plugged in, so nah.
Maybe it's on your end. Our mics and stuff are working fine, but your end is all jacked up.
Well, I'm hearing you both loud and clear, crystal. So just to let you know, you guys are crystal clear.
Appreciate it. I would start them against the Raiders. Pretty much if you're a Broncos fan and you want to keep your team, I understand it. As far as fantasy points, by the time all these injuries start kicking in and we don't know what's going to happen over the next hour, I definitely keep him on a radar or at least my watch list because he may be one of the best receivers for the week, especially with the Raiders being so iffy. They 2-7. Inexcusable, Raiders. Inexcusable. Sit him. Deontay Johnson of the Steelers against the Bengals. Seriously? But maybe.
Sit him.
But maybe.
Sit Najee Harris, too, while you're at it for the rest of his career.
Watch your mouth.
For the rest of his career. Rest of his career.
Watch your mouth.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Tony.
Watch your mouth. What you think, Rich?
I don't know about the sit-em and stuff, but I'm just looking at Ted's picks here, just to not to change the subject. He's picking the Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. They're playing each other. No.
Yeah.
No, Raiders. No, disregard. But he picked the Chiefs. Okay, let me back up. Did he pick the Chiefs? Okay, maybe
I have to look at it.
Never mind.
Okay, now I gotta look it right. I got all three of us even. I got to screen
Pittsburgh
up.
Steelers wide receiver against the Bengals. I have no idea how this guy's playing, so I can't really. Bengals are going to win it. Bengals are going to probably eat up on Pittsburgh.
Coming through. Rick Costa's coming through. Appreciate it. I don't know. The Bengals look like they're going back and forth, in and out, iffy. I think a lot of people lost faith in them by how they started the season off, but I'm looking at their record. I think we're missing out on a couple things. The Steelers, game managers, I don't think you'll see big numbers. And if the Bengals they play in the Super Bowl, this is actually pretty accurate prediction. Because I don't care what nobody says. They played the hell out of that Super Bowl, win or lose. May they face no disrespect on that Super Bowl. May they face no disrespect on that Super Bowl. They played great. They truly did. What we got here? Devontae Smith against the Colts. Sit him? I think not, gentlemen.
Who? What?
They say sit Devontae Smith against the Colts.
Why?
Because if he didn't get a touchdown in week 10, it would have been his third straight game in single digits. He's been up and down this year, target-wise and fantasy point-wise. However, this is shaping up to be a matchup where the Eagles may not have to throw too much. And even if they do, there is no guarantee of success. I kind of disagree. But I don't know as much as everybody else. The Colts have allowed the fewest fantasy points per game to receivers this season to 24 points per game. That number actually drops to 20.9 fantasy points per game in the past month. Smith is always boom or bust. But especially this week in a tough matchup like this one. I don't necessarily see the Colts as a tough matchup. I don't. But this is what they got. I think I would start them. Your thoughts?
I think depending upon what the rest of your wide receivers look like, he might be a gamble worth taking this week.
Yeah, I will gamble
him. Because you got to look at the games. They played Pittsburgh and Houston when he didn't score double digits. Pittsburgh, as we know, is just gross this season with how bad they are. And I say that because Pittsburgh's usually a pretty dominant team.
Yes.
And then they played Houston. So how much did Philly rely on the run game against those two teams? They didn't have to pass the ball.
And how
last week against the Commanders, they had to go into, they lost that game. So, they had to rely more on the pass game to get downfield stuff. And, he got his numbers back up.
Yes.
So it's at the end of the day, it's going to depend on, are the Colts going to be in it, or are they just going to steamroll the Colts?
They're going to steamroll them. They may not have to use Devontae Smith as much. So I can see this prediction now that you mentioned it, now that I think about it. I think he's going to get at least one touchdown, which will guarantee some points with some yards. So they'll see him double digits in this game. That's just me. Adam Thielen against the Cowboys. Sit Adam Thielen against the – yeah. The Cowboys defense got to be played.
Yeah, no, they're not. And as much as I like Thielen, unfortunately, with Justin Jefferson being the clear number 1 in Minnesota, the clear number 2 in Minnesota, and the clear number 3 receiver in Minnesota, basically, I think the only receiver on the field 9 times out of 10 is Jefferson. I think Kurt forgets he has other guys like Thielen, so his production is just not great. But when they go to him, he's going to catch the ball.
Thielen is old compared to Justin Jefferson, but Thielen is not done. Kirk Cousins
no, he's not done. He's not done. He's not done by no means. And he's real. He is kind of a safety net for Kirk Cousins.
Agreed.
So he's going to get catches and stuff, but he's a touchdown reliable guy. If you have him, he's got to get a touchdown to get you some points because he's not getting the production. Sure.
Adam Thielen?
Yeah, Adam Thielen.
I think he'll get yards. I've seen
he's going to get yards.
I've had him on my roster before. I like him. I know he got injured, and I think they're trying to protect him because his injury took him out one season, and you damn sure want him in the postseason. You want Thielen in the postseason.
He's going to get, but here's the problem. He's just a quick rundown.
Sure.
We're going into 11. He's averaging about 7 targets a game. 4 targets week 1, 7 targets, 8 targets, 9 targets, 7 targets, 8 targets, 7 targets, 7 targets, 7 targets. So he's not getting a whole lot of targets. And again, I say he's got to get down. Want him to get points. He's got 4 games in double digits. 2 of those games he had a touchdown in. 2 of those games he don't have a touchdown in.
So that justifies your point. I give you that.
Yeah.
Are they spreading the ball out?
Not a bad receiver.
With and I will say this: you got Dalvin Cook, you got Irv Smith. I think they're spreading the ball out, which is where they're coming from with this.
Well, you got Dalvin Cook, you got Madison back there backing Cook up.
Madison too, yes.
Well,
so
they are spreading the ball out. Now, Thielen might surprise people today because Dallas defense is pretty damn scary. And they're going to do everything they can to lock down Jefferson.
Yes.
So this might be one of those games where Thielen does shine.
Yes.
It's one of those kind of a high risk, high reward. If you start Thielen, but who knows? Hell, who knows? We all thought Buffalo had Minnesota beat last week, and then Justin Jefferson on the 4th and 8 gets that stupid one-hand.
That was a sick-ass catch. I'm going to go ahead.
That was a crazy catch.
Wandale Robinson of the New York Giants against the Lions. Sit him. First of all, I don't even know who this dude is. It doesn't look like he's getting up numbers. I think it makes sense. No disrespect to the wide receiver himself, but Jesus.
I think he came into the season with high expectations for him.
Yes.
I heard a New York Giants fan say earlier this week, one of the radio shows I listen to, he lives up in New York. He's a Giants fan. He went to the game last week, and he said, yes, the Giants are winning, and yes, it's awesome. He's like, but I thought it was just because I was watching it on TV, but I was in the stadium last week, and that is a boring fucking team to watch.
Even when
He
they're
was
winning?
like, even when they are winning, he was
The
like,
Giants
my
have been a boring team. They haven't been exciting since Eli won his first Super Bowl. They have not been
exactly.
exciting.
He said outside of Barkley, there is not an explosive elite player on that team, and why they're winning the way they're winning, he don't know.
Nobody
But
knows.
he said he was in nobody knows. He said he was in that stadium, and the jumbotron was like doing the get loud, make noise, and he's like, you could hear crickets in that stadium, and we were winning.
Wow.
He was like, and we was winning. I
Because
was like,
The TV perspective, Click, is that they're rocking in that stadium on the TV.
yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, ouch, because I've only been to a couple Browns games, but went to one, and it was in Cincinnati, and we was losing, but that damn stadium was insane with how loud it was. And I mean, I was just like, damn, to hear that from a fan's perspective who was in the stadium, that's wild, because you would think that the energy level would be pretty high considering the fact that the Giants are doing very well this year.
Just surprisingly. I think they were predicted because there's a lot of hype between Daniel Jones, but I'm still surprised that they're doing as good as they are doing, honestly. I am very surprised at that. I think.
Well, that whole division, Tony, the North Conference there for the National Conference.
The NFC.
Yeah, the NFC East. It's freaking flipped compared to what it was last year.
Well, they always say they're not any good, but what the thing is, they're consistent and they're hard against each other. It's about who they're taking out outside of their division, and that's where a lot of the controversy comes in. I'm just sitting back watching, let the season play out, and then everybody does the analysis afterwards, and then we got to go ahead and go through next season. I would run them in the ground, but the Giants, to me, weren't going to make the playoffs this season. I had them at the bottom of the division, and I had the Eagles winning the division. The Cowboys and the Commanders were going to be a big problem, in my opinion. So far, it is looking like that for the most part. I'm just going to leave it there, honestly. Wide receivers, week 11, NFL.com predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We will now go to the tight ends. Start them and sit them. I think these are going to be pretty easy, personally. I don't think it's going to be too much of a brainer unless we got an injury report or the team's ridiculous. George Kittle is a start. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I know he gets his injuries, but I'll be damned if you don't want to start him on your roster as a tight end. Are there any questions?
Yeah, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews.
Yeah, he gets his touches on the ball.
He gets his touches. He gets his touchdowns. He also gets hurt. That is the problem. George Kittle gets hurt. The reason why he gets hurt is because he always gets the damn ball. Now, you also have an offense where you can spread the ball out amongst any and everybody, so he may not get as many points as he used to, but play with it if you want to, and don't start him and see what happens against your squad and your matchup for the week. I'm just going to narrow that down. Very simple. Get George Kittle. Cole Kmet for the Bears. I think he's finally getting his time. I think he's finally getting his accolades. I think he's finally getting his props because I do see him as a decent tight end. He just wasn't getting the ball enough, which was being used against him. And you're going to start him against the Falcons? I think I do this. Gentlemen, go ahead.
Well, no, I said last week. I think he cut out there. No, excuse me. I said it last week. I think the Bears are finding their identity as an offense, and they're coming alive. And he had a good game against Miami. I said it last week. If you got him, start him. You're a fool if you don't start him. And he blew up for another 20-plus points 2 weeks in a row. And I think, in all honesty, he's going to continue his streak this week against the Falcons, and he's probably going to put up another 20 points. So, absolutely, start him.
In my opinion, new quarterback, new tight end, new energy to the team. However, I think he'll be targeted, so you might want to enjoy the run that he has while he has it before something ridiculous happens. And I hate to say it like that on purpose, but that's been football. Somebody's going to have a good moment, and then something's going to throw them backwards. I hate to see it happen. Right now, I would jump all over this opportunity if I was you. Dalton Schultz versus the Vikings. I find this to be tricky. The Vikings are coming up. Look at their record, ladies and gentlemen. The Vikings are 8-1. We haven't seen the Vikings at 8-1 in quite a long time. Dalton Schultz is coming off of an injury. I find this to be a risky prediction. Go for yours, gentlemen.
Dalton Schultz.
Yes.
Where do I begin? Oh, Dalton.
Number one tight end for the Cowboys. Keep going.
I know who he is all too well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting personally.
There you go.
Dak is back. As I said again last week, I'll reiterate what I said last week. Dak is back.
Yes, we
Dalton's,
went through this. Yes.
Dalton's going to get his touches. Dalton's going to get his catches. Dalton's going to get his touchdowns.
Yes.
Start that sumbitch, even against the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to put you some points up.
Yes, he is.
Since he's come back from injury, he's put up 40 points. He's only got one touchdown, but he's put up 40 points in 3 games since he's been back from injury. Prior to his injury, he only put up 15 points in 2 games. So in the 5 games he's played, he's put up 55 points, 56 points, something like that. But he's only touchdown, so he's not touchdown reliant to get points. So definitely start him. And start CD Lamb too, damn it. I know CD didn't get no love.
CD Lamb, my number one receiver when I do fantasy football. Najee Harris, CD Lamb. Those two my first 2 picks. People talk about me all day. I don't care. I want the both of them.
Najee Harris, man.
I want the both of them on my squad.
R.I.P. Najee. Put him in the
and I can't stand half of you pickers who want to mess with things just to see what I'm going to do. Oh, hell yeah, you get on my nerves. Next.
Move to next.
George Dolchich against the Raiders. Greg, excuse me. I don't know this dude.
I don't know him either. Oh, wait a minute. No. He looked familiar.
He's a rookie tight end.
Rookie.
Where you at, you goofy bastard?
So he had 3 decent games with double digits.
Start him.
Yeah, he had 3 decent games. Came out of the bye week and just crapped the bed last week. I would say against a lousy Raiders team.
Mm-hmm.
Why not give him some love? Depending upon what you're looking at, tight end wise on your roster.
They look.
I'm
tempted to grab him. Based on a lot of what's going on with the season, this might be his time. Okay, I say go with it. I've got the other guy, Wignabaum, I think his name is. He's not doing nothing.
I think he got injured.
I think he got injured. I think he was going to get traded or left or benched or disregarded. I don't know what the hell's going on with him, but they are like not giving him any credit. And I actually picked him as a sleeper tight end based on a lot of the teams and what was going on out there. And I had this son bitch on the bench, and he would, oh my God. Let me look at one right here.
Okay, Tony and Glick, how do you hear me now?
Outstanding.
Yeah, you sound
good. Okay, I unplugged all the bullshit.
There you go.
Okay, let me be clear. Rich, you got a lot of shit plugged in. I didn't want to mess with you because you got a weekly broadcast that you maintain. And as long as you leave all your sittings alone, you don't mess nothing up. The other shows, but Jesus.
Well, it's Reach. I like Reach, and it's a great but I play with these toys and stuff, and I thought this would work. I'm just on strict the phone now, as far as it's the mic off of the straight phone with the earbuds. So I'm going old school now. So I said to screw it. I don't need all the other extra bells and whistles.
I hate to interrupt you, but you said it's Reach. Are you on Reach?
Well, aren't you on or Restream? I'm sorry.
You had.
Oh, you can tell you where my brain's at, right? No. Restream, folks. Restream. Screw the Reach. You know what it is, Tony? The old Get Vocal. I was looking at it this morning. That's no more. I had to delete the app. You can't get on the old Get Vocal now.
The Get Vocal's gone. Yes, so everything.
Yeah,
is
Get Vocal. Vocal. Yeah. I was looking at our other platform there that we hope to come back because they still have it. We're gone for now, so that doorway's still opening and stuff like that. But we're on Restream, folks. Just to reiterate, and I do like Restream. Restream is a good platform.
I think
it's just the bells and whistles you plug in.
Glick has to set up with StreamYard when we do our thing. I set this up for the fantasy football, and I was going to use this for the fantasy football. So we've got platforms everywhere for us to broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend, Rich, I think I'll be home. I think I'll have time. We need to work on a vocal broadcast somehow. So
yeah.
I did do this on vocal one time. I want to try it again. It might be next weekend.
Okay.
Definitely. I didn't do the paid version there. I thought about doing the paid version there instead of Restream just to give it a shot for Bobby.
Right.
The window will be open on the new year because I'm going to run this for the rest of the fantasy football season. And then when next year comes, I'm going to try to work that for at least a month to see what we can get out of it on more than the two platforms that it provides personally. And
Glick, you like Restream, right?
I use StreamYard. I love StreamYard.
Oh, StreamYard. You're on StreamYard. So you got because you pay for it, you don't see the logo. So I was thinking you were on Restream, but you're on StreamYard. It's okay. They're both good.
They're both good platforms. I played with both of them. I really like StreamYard a lot better. They got a couple more features to make life a little bit easier. I pay for the upgrade.
Right.
But there's just I mean, they're basically the same. They're both really good platforms. There's just a couple minor
differences, very minor
things.
Very
minor. That I like StreamYard a little bit better. It's a little bit more fluid. It's a little bit more user friendly. So,
and most of the broadcasters that we got, Richard, on StreamYard, I wanted to give this one a shot. We got all our bases covered. We got all our bases covered as fellow live streamers, broadcasters, and all that. I'm running with this personally, just because everybody was already running with everybody else. So let me give this a shot. Because both of these guys suggested to me. Let me keep going because we're already over an hour, and I don't want to miss the game. Sit 'em. Tyler Higbee against the Saints. I think I agree.
With Cooper Kupp going out,
on IR, so he may get the ball, but that's also going to make him a target.
But I mean, that's a big boy to try to cover up and stop from getting the ball.
They've stopped him more than once before. I don't know if the Saints defense can do it, but I say, they say sit him. Okay, Dawson Knox against the Browns. Go ahead, Glick.
Sit his ass. Sit his ass. Sit his ass. Sit his ass. Even though it's just, that's the one Buffalo Bill that you sit this week. Sit his ass. Actually, if he's on your roster, get rid of him. Somebody in your league will be dumb enough to trade you.
Watch your mouth.
Or Dawson. As I say that, he's going to kill the Browns today. Watch him put up like 45 fantasy points.
Yeah, because you dogged his ass. That's where you go to. But normally the Buffalo Bills tight end is not really that much as factor as other receivers and stuff. As far as we've seen a tight end being you. Go ahead, Glick.
No, he's really not. He's not a factor in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think he is a factor. I don't know what's going on. He was on my watch list last season, the season before, I think. I don't know what's happening. The offense is very spread out. I know he got hurt. I think he got hurt.
He missed one game this season.
Yeah, he missed one game. Okay. Robert Tonyan, tight end for the Packers against the Titans. That game was the other night, wasn't it?
That game was.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Who did you pick in that game, Glick? Who did you pick to win in that game, Glick?
I would have picked the Titans.
Titans, okay.
Yeah. I think that's who I had actually set up pretty heavy on my DraftKings as well, was the Titans. I should look at that and see if I want any money.
Hunter Henry against the Jets, I think I would start him. I know he's probably not going to get a whole lot of points, but something tells me he's going to sneak a touchdown out of that game.
There's no disrespect toward Henry. I'm not going to disrespect him like I did Dawson Knox. But he is he's a great tight end. And if he was on a team that was, say like the Browns, for instance, who like to use their tight ends a lot, he would be a monster. Yes. But he is very touchdown reliant as far as fantasy.
Well, the crazy part is when Gronk left, New England actually went to a 2 tight end set, to which I saw a double threat as far as tight ends, not necessarily for blocking, but for receiving the touchdowns. So I'm actually surprised his numbers aren't higher than what they are. Now, Mac Jones is doing good, and I'm not going to sleep on that. The Patriots are actually sliding up in there as a good team the same way the Vikings did. So I'm going to keep my eyes on this. I do not recommend sitting him, but I understand where they're coming from. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your tight ends, Week 11, NFL.com predictions. Defenses, honestly, I think by now we kind of know what we're going to do the same way we do with the kickers. I don't mind running through them.
Interchangeable.
They are, yeah. The Eagles against the Colts is a no-brainer to me. Look at those records. Stop it. Stop it. That's it. 49ers against the Cardinals. This is a back-and-forth, iffy, very iffy game. I said that earlier in the hour. I kind of see both defenses going against each other. What do you think?
I'm going to keep my mouth shut because last week I said I wouldn't start Minnesota and/or Buffalo's defense, and Minnesota's defense blew up. I called the game perfectly, saying that it was going to be a high-scoring game, and that's going to hurt the defenses. I didn't realize Josh Allen was going to throw, 2-3 interceptions, and the defense was going to touchdown at the end of the game.
Oh, my God. Don't remind me of that game, please. I'm still trying to get over the freaking game. My God.
That game gave you PTSD.
Oh my God, did it? It's like, my God. I'm still crying over that game.
We got the Saints versus the Rams. So both of them are 3-7 and 3-6. I would start the Saints defense against the Rams. The Rams do not look like a Super Bowl team. I got to go ahead and say they do not.
No. We've been saying that all week, Tony, or every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all season.
All season, yeah, exactly. All season since their first game.
Yes,
when they got whacked by the Bills, they from day one.
They do not look like a Super Bowl team, and it's very disappointing.
It's defending champs.
Yes, and it's like, okay, we got our ring number one.
Cooper Kupp being out now, that's going to also benefit the Saints team, tremendously.
Going to benefit everybody all over the NFL because he was the main threat for the Super Bowl. No OBJ. All you had was Cooper Kupp, and he was saving that squad. He truly was. The Bengals against the Steelers, I would do this. I would do this. This is a no-brainer. I'm going to keep going. Let's sit them.
Well, you got to remember when the Steelers played the Bengals earlier this season, they killed Joe Burrow. They had 7 sacks, a couple interceptions. I think there was a fumble recovery, and TJ Watt's back, and that offensive line can't save Joe Burrow to save his life.
Well, the offensive line has improved. I did notice that last week. I think it was the offensive line looks like they're protecting him better.
Right.
I did see that. The Bears sit the Bears defense against the Falcons. I wouldn't. I would start the Bears defense.
Against the Falcons, yeah.
I would start the Bears defense. The Falcons can play ball. They're looking like a better team, but they can also be stopped, as you can see from their record.
Yep.
Sit the Raiders defense against the Broncos.
Oh, definitely.
You have got to be kidding me. I would start the Raiders defense.
Oh, you would? I would sit them. I would sit them.
The Broncos offense looks ridiculous. Look at the record. The Broncos offense have been struggling greatly. There's no denying that. But the Raiders defense has struggled as well. There you go. They scored 3 fantasy points or fewer in all but 2 games this week, which is horrific. I gave it the benefit of the doubt last week against the Colts. The best possible streaming matchup for opposing defenses, and the Raiders scored a measly 3 fantasy points. There's your proof right there. No matter what you think, those are the stats, those are the
That's a
numbers.
good point. Good point. Good point.
That's right.
As I said earlier in the broadcast, Tony D, if your name's not Devontae Adams and you're on the Raiders, sit him.
Colts, sit the Colts defense against the Eagles. I kind of see that.
Yeah.
I kind of see that. That's not really a question. I kind of see that. Those are your defenses. NFL.com week 11, ladies and gentlemen. The kickers, I always tell everybody, go with your team. By now, you should know who to pick, who to run with, and how your squad is handling itself, honestly. We have
kickers are 100% interchangeable, though. I mean, you can go week to week. You can literally change your kicker every week.
It depends on how your team gets downfield. I take the field goals over anything. If your team will make it past the 50, I'll take your kicker. Because you'll get the
kicker. There's been a lot more kicking this year than I've seen in years past.
A lot of game management. In my opinion, they've been managing the game and trying not to give the opposing team time to catch up if they ever had the lead. So I'm seeing a lot of strategy. The kickers, for the most part, like I said, if your team's going to make it past the 50, you're going to get the field goal. And your kickers get more field goals than punts, kickoff, return, all that other craziness. You know what I'm saying? So I'll run with that. Gentlemen, I want to thank the both of you for being here.
Before we go, Tony, I want to get run down real quick. Glick, I got you your Thursday. You got one win, but I want to get the rest of the picks to get you on this this list here. Eagles and Colts.
Go
Eagles.
No
Commanders and Texans.
Commanders.
Okay.
Commanders.
The Commanders. Bears and Falcons.
That was a little tougher. I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Bears. Okay, that's a game that Ted has. I got 3 missing. He's picking both the Chiefs and Chargers. I don't know if he means the Rams because over the Saints. I got to get with him after we get done with this broadcast here real quick.
For you right now.
Jets and Patriots.
Oh man, as Tony said, recent history says Patriots. You know, I'm gonna give some love to the Jets though because they've been surprising me all season.
Okay, the only one that's going is Tim Fan there. He's the only one. I'm going with the Jets also. Ram Saints.
You know what? I'm gonna give this one to Cooper Cup-less Rams. I think they're gonna surprise me.
Okay. Browns Bills. You're gonna stick with your Browns?
No, I'm Bills.
No,
I'm sorry.
Bills. Okay. No problem. I understand. Panthers Ravens.
Oh, Ravens.
Okay. Lions Giants.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say the Lions shocked the world again this week.
Okay, you and Tony are with the Lions and Raiders Broncos.
Ugh, what an ugly game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my man Derek Carr some love. Let's go Raiders.
Okay, everybody's going with the Raiders to let you know.
Yes.
Cowboys Vikings. That should be a good game.
That should be a really good game. And I'm torn. And I'm torn. But you know what? I give it to my man Kurt Chains. With the Vikings.
Vikings. Okay. Who's Kurt Chains? Okay. Click Vikings. Okay. Bengals. Steelers. Pardon?
Kirk Cousins. They call him Kurt Chains.
Okay. Bengals, Steelers.
I'm going to go Bengals.
Bengals. Okay. You and Ted are going with the Bengals. Chiefs, Chargers.
In a shootout, my man Justin Herbert putting Patrick Mahomes in his face. Go ahead and hit them Chargers up one time.
Chargers. Wow, that's that. I'm putting a star near that one. That's interesting. Let's see. 49ers, Cardinals.
40.
Wow, everybody except myself are going for 49ers. I'm going with the Cardinals. Okay, thank you, Glick.
Yep.
Ted says taking the Rams over New Orleans.
Okay, it's taking Rams over New Orleans, so that's one. Let me get that. Ask him about the Chiefs charge. He's probably taking the Chiefs, right?
I sent him a message. Check your Chargers and Chiefs picks. He said he made
And
the
the other game he didn't pick was the Bears Falcons.
Just a heads up in that Arizona Chargers game, or not Arizona, the Chiefs Chargers game. As I said earlier, Palmer, the rookie wide receivers, really stepped up big for them this season with
Okay.
Allen and Williams being both and Allen are expected to play today. So they're going to have a triple threat
Okay.
wide receiver. I think that's why they're calling for a shootout in this game between the two teams.
I'm going to have the Dallas-Minnesota game at 4:30. I don't know if you all are. I'm also going to have the Chiefs-Chargers game tonight. The first games I'm going to have in my area are going to be the Bears and the Falcons, and then the Eagles and the Colts. So,
what do I got? I
don't know
got
what
the
I'll be
Browns and Bills and the Panthers and Baltimore game are the early games for me. And then I got the Eagles and Steelers for the afternoon game. And then, of course, everybody gets a night game.
Right. As I look over my rosters, because I'm in 4 different leagues, and I don't want to hold anybody up if they got to go. I'm just rambling.
No, you're good. You're good, Tony. Appreciate.
Tannehill got me 29 points on Yahoo. I actually had him at the bench on another league. I want to kick myself. I really do, because Tannehill's always my backup quarterback. Brady's first, and then Tannehill's second. Yeah, in this league, I had Tannehill on the damn bench, and he got 19 points. I'm pissed. I'm still predicted to beat Ife's team if she ever catches up with us. I got to get her up here 1 week.
Who's overall winning in the league there for you guys in your fantasy football
right now? And I do need to do that. Thank you for asking. I can throw it on the screen as a matter of fact.
Cameron's 9-1.
Oh, is he? Oh wow.
Yeah, Cam's 9-1. Ife and Ted are both tied 8-2, and Golf Hawk 6-4 coming in 4th place.
Yeah, that's there right there on the screen. Yeah, Smoke's at the bottom, but Smoke's been out the loop for a while. He just kicks in for fun. I do appreciate him kicking in.
Yeah.
Smoke's also been busy doing everything else in life, which I understand that. He tried to check in with us every now and then, and we chop it up when we do this show. He said he has the best team with the losing record, which I love it.
He's the only 0-10 team out there, so I ain't much
having
better.
fun.
There isn't much of a difference in points from the first place team to the last place team. It's only like 200-point difference. 400 points total through the whole league from what I'm seeing, which is a lot based on how these we don't have much of a high scoring league. We just got a standard. I'm sitting at 10th, the 3-game losing streak, thanks to the jokers that I'm up against. But Glick's team actually does suck, just for the record. I'm feeling good about that.
Glick didn't get to draft his team. You feel good about that?
Glick's been talking shit all season, and he still sucks.
Again, Glick didn't get to draft his team because the league was a bunch of boo babies, and we can't draft on this day. We can't
go to a concert, and then he's going to complain all season with the joke he talks. Blah 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 blah.
I like in my league, I'm sitting in first place.
In
my league, I'm in first place.
I am second in another league, and
Hey.
I'm just going to run what I can. I did swap out. I think it's a good time for everybody to check their rosters if you have one, and that's just me talking. Because there was actually I'm going against Glick, and I'm picking up Dawson Knox for a flex in one league because Agwegbanam, tight end for Denver, who I was just talking about, is not getting the ball this season. I might just drop him. He is not getting the ball this season at all. He hasn't had a double-digit prediction for the week yet, which is tragic. How about you drop him and use him for God's sakes? So, yeah, everybody definitely check your roster. Gentlemen, I want to thank the both of you for being here. This was fun. Rich, I'm not going to pick on you about your audio because I know what you're doing.
No, if anything, Tony, I appreciate you having me up here because it gives me a chance to test it. I know I got a solid, if I come on here, I need to go just straight phone with the earbuds and, instead of all this other gobbledygook and stuff like that. I'm pretty good on the PC. I just didn't have time to restart it and stuff like that because I was doing a little gaming earlier and stuff like that. But you both were solid on the audio and stuff like that. If there was any issue, it was probably on my end and stuff like that. And I do appreciate you having me up here, even though you and Glick, you're I don't even rate on the radar the football knowledge you guys have because a lot of these guys you throw their names up like you know them like the back of your hand. I'm like, who's that? Yeah, I just look at the overall teams and stuff like that. But
fun for me is you got to pay attention to the
a little bit of a football nerd.
Yeah.
Squads.
Oh yeah. You're a fan there, Glick. That's why I'm among the giants here as far as on the football because I do enjoy watching a football game. Well, I tell you, the worst football game is that game I watched last week with the Bills. I was just like, I'm still hurting from that. I don't think I'll ever recover for that, other than the fact the Bills better win the rest of their freaking games. They're going to have a lot of pissed off people here in New York State.
They stay pissed.
Well, don't worry. You guys are going to get a good, solid redemption game today. You're probably going to put 75 points on Cleveland.
Yeah. And I'm still hoping for the Jets and the Giants to come through today for wins and stuff like that to keep it rolling. But the bottom line, I really enjoy watching football overall, the play and stuff like that. It just some people at the last week, some games last week, they're talking about the controversial calls. I've seen a couple calls, but the calls, it was really a matter of changing the team. How years past they said, oh, the refs, they screwed up the game. I don't think we've seen that much because I know they know that. I think the referees know they're being watched and they're being criticized very methodically this season. I think more than in years past and stuff. And they probably critique themselves right after the game more so than they have in the past.
They are critiquing themselves, and I think with gambling being an issue, anything goes and money's everywhere. There's nothing to really worry about as far as control. With a lot of the controversy, conspiracies behind the game, we have seen where refereeing was an issue. You wanted the real refs back. If you got a problem with the real refs, you're going to bring the other refs in. That's going to be a whole nother stink that we've seen 2 or 3 seasons in the past 20, 30 years where it was an issue where you got replacements and people can't stand it. You want the originals back. Let them play ball. Watch the cheap shots. We got a decent game, period. That end the story. They're catching all the cheap shots. I'm going to give them that. The face mask, the horse collar, the trip, all that. I'm good with that, but let them play ball. Like I said, everybody, nonsense. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 6 o'clock. All platforms, all podcast areas. My man, Fireman Rich, check him out on Twitch. Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. He comes on about 5:30. That's my morning alarm for getting up. But since I'm on swings, there's times I can't go to bed.
We miss you, Tony. I tell you, last week was freaking quiet. If it's not the fact I'm taking part in this audio challenge I've been talking about, it's a yearly challenge. Now Pod Pomo, you do an audio month or audio a day for 30 days, and it's been going on for 15 years. It's something I do every November and stuff. That's the only thing is but I mean, you are definitely missed on the live streaming here, dude. It's just like it's just like so because you haven't. I don't think you broadcast at all last week because of your schedule.
I don't think I did.
No,
I don't think I did.
It's crickets. It's crickets.
Well, y'all miss me acting up. That's all it is.
Yeah. There we go.
Y'all miss me acting up, but definitely check them out. I myself, I'm all over the place. This is every week, Sunday morning. One of the more consistent schedules that I'll try to maintain and keep. I'm definitely on with these guys when they come on. I just gave you their schedule. Check them out, please.
Yep. And watch you guys on the replay on that and stuff. So
check
I
me on
do.
Miss Cloud. You will see me, Tony D, on Miss Cloud. I'm trying to do some of the music broadcasts that I used to do, and I'm going to throw the audio over there. I'm going to give y'all a spoiler right now. If you are not a hip hop fan, you might not want to listen.
I'm not. I still listen, Tony. I love the music. The music's great. The music's good.
Good when you play the jam. I said, look at Rich listening to my music. I'll be damned.
Play a lot of
Just
snow
a new genre.
Go ahead, Glick.
You play a lot of snow on there. Your favorite song?
No, that's your favorite song. I'm not having that.
No, that's your favorite song.
I will be doing a jam.
I called you out.
I do plan on getting one knocked out before Jason gets here if I got the time. I think I might do something. I might do a Twitter Spaces. I'm not going to be working this week. I got to have my son.
Yeah.
He's out of school. My birthday's Tuesday. Actually, my birthday is Wednesday. I got a wedding to go to Tuesday. Thursday is Thanksgiving. And then Friday and Saturday, I will have a lot of time to do some of the things that I used to do and try to get something out there on all the different platforms. Like, I'm going to do something on Vocal. I'm going to do something else on Restream. I'm going to do something on StreamYard. I got to work on doing Twitch. The guest stars. Rich,
that's we could try. I'm not really impressed with that, Tony. After our last, it's just there is something.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, there is something, I guess, on YouTube that if you're a partner, or if you're up there on the food chain, you can bring somebody in on your YouTube now because Randy W. Horton is trying that. But
it was glitching.
But the guest stars, it's I would use Vocal, but the only thing about Vocal is the camera isn't as good. And if anything, I would use Restream and Yardstream or as far as or StreamYards over guest stars, because I just, as big as your Twitch is a major thing where they're playing football on Thursday nights and they're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of people viewing that, and you can't even get it straight on your programming to bring up a couple people on a. I can't fathom that. It just it might be
Twitch Studio.
Yeah. So it's
and I know about the OBS selling. I know y'all been getting on me about the OBS. I got to get back reacquainted with it. That's what
OBS is you can't go wrong with OBS. It's not that big of a learning curve if you keep it simple and stuff like that. And for me,
as I was when we was that's been my
but right here's an example. I'm getting a better since I unplugged the freaking bull crap that's off to the side here on the desk. I got a better broadcast here just using the phone on your broadcast. So it's a learning curve and stuff like that, and you got to keep it simple. You make it too complicated, then
I came out the loop with OBS. I kind of forgot some of the things, and that's what messed me up because I was using it with Haps. I can use this to keep doing what I was doing before. And when I do my music video streams, this with the paid version, it gives you the option to save the video or just the audio. When I throw the audio, share that out. So that's been good. I am trying to expand and do what I want to do. I want to get that out the way. Couple of mayoral broadcasts, if you will, when I would do that, just to do my event, keep up with the current events, throw a song. Shut up, Glick. I have my show, damn it. Shut up, Glick. Everybody check us out. It will be a busy weekend. Like I said, Tuesday I got to go to Atlanta for a wedding. Congratulations to her. Wednesday's my birthday. My mom will be here. My aunt will be here. I'm going to enjoy some family time. Thursday's going to be Thanksgiving. So by Thursday night, Friday morning, Black Friday morning, I do plan on getting Jason situated and then probably running the music broadcast because a bunch of y'all going to be standing in line or running around trying to find out what you're going to buy. I will have some background music for you all. If you all are tired of the radio, I'm just going to put a new mix out there. Just a little something. Because people are going to be ripping and running. I'm pretty much good on what I need to do. All I got to do is keep my debt low. That's all I got to do. God help me on that. Because I like to eat. You shut up. I appreciate you,
Oh,
gentlemen.
I was great. I agree with you. Like keeping it that low. I agree
I'm
with you.
broadcasting with you. Why you falling with that shit? I've been broadcasting with your ass long enough this year.
See, I try.
Rich,
I try.
Rich,
You know,
I want you to tell the missus I said what's up. Tell the cat I said what's up. Glick, you tell the kids I said what's happening. Tell your daughter I ain't forget to dance. We got to holler. Yeah, you got the picks, Rich. Any and everybody out there, if y'all would like to throw your picks in when we do this every week, let us know. Rich has fun keeping a tally up with everything. He does his stuff with CBS Sports. I do mine with NFL.com. We do like to compare notes. We also do the fantasy. This is just a weekly run. I'm trying out, and I think
All in good fun, Tony. That's what it's all about. I enjoy the hell out of this. It's like it's really
10 minutes before the first game, gentlemen. Go get some breakfast, all that good stuff.
no lunch.
Yeah. Again, thank you all,
Yeah,
everybody, for coming through. Helen, Debbie, and Rick. Thank you all, everybody else. When you watch the replay, drop a comment.